Hello everyone, and welcome to the Blackgold Homestead channel. In today's video I'm going to be Okay, she's in the stall now. Alright, so Magnolia is my Nigerian dwarf, one of 3 that I now have. She is right now on her 2nd freshening. So basically what a freshening is whenever one of the goats has kidded and came into milk. So this is her 2nd time having kids and coming into milk. And this year she only had 1 kid. Now you'll notice that when I milk her, I just tie her off over here. She gets no grain. She gets nothing to eat. She just stands there and lets me milk. And that's the easiest for me. I don't have to worry about a grain bucket and getting her on a milk stand. And she's pretty good with it. She's pretty easy to milk out. And we'll just see how it goes for the camera. All right, Magnolia. So, as you can see, she's now tied off. She's just tied off to the hay rack. And, that's the sheep and the goat fighting. She's just tied off to the hay rack. And, you can see the floor in here in the barn is, just hay. But it's clean. There's no, you know, urine and poop in there. I mean, there's some, but it's very little. So it's nice and clean in here for the most part, and that helps keep everything clean for milking. And I keep it pretty simple, my little routine. First of all, I just take a dry rag, and I use the dry rag to get off any loose hair or debris on the udder and the underside of her stomach. And her stomach is a bit wet this morning because it has been raining and the grass is wet. So I just rub down her stomach a couple times, get all the loose hair and stuff off. Kind of the inside of the legs, the back legs, the insides, that's pretty good to do. Fold the rag over, and then I do the udder a couple times. Just getting, you know, loose hair off and just kind of drying it off if it's wet from rain. Alright, now I do have a milking pail, but I actually prefer not to use it. What I do use instead is just a mason jar, and I milk right into the jar. The jar has a much smaller opening, so there's a lot less of a chance of anything falling into it. And if you get a back shot of her, I don't know if you can or not, you can kind of see her udder there. Right there. It's kind of dark in here, but you can kind of see. And like I said, I've only been milking her once a day now that it's kind of end of the season. It's we're in August, so I've not been milking twice a day. but she's still producing pretty good. But now what I just do is I take these wet disposable wipes and I wipe down each teat and make sure I get any dirt and debris off of them. And then I wipe off around them on each side and the udder one more time. And it's usually not that dirty. Goats are pretty clean. And then I get out my jar. Now something else I do is I strip each teat before I start milking it. And that just disposes of the first couple squirts in case there's any bacteria or dirt in the end of the teat. And you can use a strip cup, and what that is like a silver cup or a dark colored cup. And you put the milk into that to see if anything's wrong with it. But I only do that like maybe once a week now, so today I'm just going to do the first couple squirts onto the floor and then start milking into my jar, if you want to get this on video. And that noise is our donkey trying to get in here. He does this every single morning. He always wants to be inside of here. Now, as you can see, I'm only milking one side. And I can milk with both hands and do both sides at the same time. But, I don't mind doing one side at a time. So that's what I have been doing. It takes a little bit longer, but it's not too bad. Now, as far as milking goes, what I do is I milk out one side until the stream of milk coming out is pretty small, and then I go to the other side, giving this side, you know, a minute or two to relax and get a break, and then you can bump the udder to have milk let down, or at least that's how I do it. Alright, so that much so far out of that side. This side over here, I'm going to show you the hand placement for milking, kind of. Because I figured there might be a little bit better lighting. So there you can see her udder and her teat. And Nigerian dwarfs have pretty small teats. So what you can do, actually, and it works okay, is whenever you're milking, you can grab part of the udder, and it seems to work just fine. So maybe if you stand there and I can get right here. What I do is I grab up top here, I pinch with my pointer and thumb, like that, pinch off the teat, and then I use the rest of my pointer and my middle finger to draw the milk down. Never pulling, but just pinching off and squeezing one finger at a time until the milk comes out.
Did you strip it?
Yes, I did this side. So as you can see, I'm pinching and pushing down. And then opening back up to let the milk fill back in. Coming out are smaller. So I'm just going to give her a few seconds to relax, maybe 15 seconds. And as you could see, she's just tied there and she's standing perfectly still, no grain to keep her still or anything, and she's really good. I mean, she doesn't try to fight or get away, she just stands there patiently waiting. Now, as far as maintenance goes, she has grass and pasture to eat 24/7. She gets hay once in the morning, and she gets, what would you say, a cup of grain in the evening? Roughly 1 cup of grain in the evening. So, maintenance is really easy. Alright, so now I'm just going to lightly take my hand and bump this side. And you don't actually have to be that light. You can, you know, bump them fairly hard to release the milk. And what that does is it has them let down the milk, much as the way the kids would do it. And I can move her leg back because it's kind of in my way. Now, as far as chilling the milk and all goes, I don't chill it while I milk. I just chill it after I'm done. I take it right inside and put it into the fridge. Alright, so now what I have to do is turn her to do this other side. And she turns pretty easy. She knows that she has to turn. So, done milking. And that's about how much I got this morning. So, it's going into the end of the season, so she's not getting as much as she was, but, still decent. So, not too bad. So, thanks for watching, and stay tuned because the second part of this video will be, giving them hay as part of the morning routine. So now we're on to the second little part of the morning routine, and that's throwing hay for the animals. And what I'm giving hay to is 5 goats, the donkey, and the sheep. And this one tote is all the hay they need each day, pretty much. Except for the 2 male goats, they get another tote in the evening. They're on a smaller pen with less forage. Alright, so now I have my bucket of hay, and I am just going to distribute it into a couple of places. As you can see, there's a small pile here, and they can pull some out as they need through this 6x6 panel wire. So that works really good. I then come into here. I filled this hay hopper only about 1/3 of the way. Of course, in the winter they get a lot more hay, but in the summer, sometimes in the summer they don't get any. But we are going closer into fall, so they are starting to get a little more. So that gets some hay in it. Then I go into the little run-in over here. And what I do real quick is I just take a couple of handfuls and just toss them into some different spots in here. And then the rest goes for the male goats. And basically, once I finish this, that is the sum up for my summer morning routine. Thanks for watching.